To my mother. May her profound sense of family loyalty stand as a shining example to all of us.
Where is Lois?
She's still not feeling well?
I'd say they're not thinking hard enough. Wouldn't you, Jax? Sonny? Let's listen a little more.
Ned, that was a private conversation.
My son, Dylan, is the Quartermain heir, and I am his seat warmer until he's old enough to claim it. Making you and yours completely irrelevant. So why don't you just do everybody a big favor and go back to where you came from? The free ride is over, Missy. Disembark to the left.
So up until this very second, I never wanted a plug nickel for either me or my child. But if money is your weapon of choice, lady, fine. I can throw down just as dirty as you can. All our lives we hear the word hate being thrown around. I hate the peas and carrots, and I hate the rain, and I never could understand how such an ugly word could apply to another human being. Until this very second. Standing here in front of you right now, I get it in a major way. Because with everything I am, I hate you, lady, and I hate that wretched, self-important little brat you brought into this world. And before I see my child lose one single advantage that should come with membership to this godforsaken family, I'll see you both dead!
Lois didn't want to let on how much pain she was in front of Mother. But if you want to hear her scream in agony, I'll play you the moment when she goes to the hospital with Gloria. Show of hands?
Ned, please, you can't blame me for those contractions. She attacked me. How was I supposed to know?
Tracy! Ned, where is Lois now?
Let me put this in terms you can all understand. Profit and loss. My mother and Jax had a plan to cripple ELQ and to take what was left for themselves. And they even had your cooperation when you forced me out.
Well, folks, brace yourself. Here come the I told you so's. He's entitled to them?
They sunk a lot of cash into this project. I'd be willing to bet that Jax made sure that the lion's share of it was hers. Your loss, our profit. Lois also had a plan. Her plan was to love me for the rest of my life and make me happy. And she was a lot more tenacious than the two of you. She fought for me against all of you. She fought for me against me. And when you all decided to kill my career, she was there, ready to give me a new one. But Lois's plan got caught in your headlights, didn't it, Mother?
Darling, we had a few harsh words. Words aren't fatal.
Lois is gone. She's moved back to Bensonhurst.
Dear God.
What? Ned, how could you let her do a thing like that?
Let her? She was afraid for our child. Could I tell her not to be?
Now, Ned, no one is more repulsed by your mother's conduct than I am. But to even think that Tracy would hurt her own grandchild was
Were you listening to the tape, Grandfather?
All right, Ned. Now, every one of us in this room will swear to see that no harm shall come to Lois and that baby. I'll hire armed guards to protect her if I have to.
Every one of you in this room is what my son or daughter needs protection from. Your greed, your vanity, your shallowness.
Ned, if I talked to Lois, if I promised her that...
Forgive me, Grandmother. But what power do you have in this house to promise anything? I mean, let's be honest. The price you pay for loving us all so much is complicity in all of it.
Ned, you watch your tongue and you remember to whom you're speaking.
Oh, yes. Heaven forbid anyone should tell poor old doddering Lila the truth once in every 10 years.
And besides, there's no promise and no argument anyone here could make that I didn't try making myself to keep her here.
Now, you see, Ned, we're finally getting down to the point here.
AJ, leave it alone.
Why? Why not tell the truth? I mean, let's be honest. Lois didn't leave me. She didn't leave you. She didn't leave grandmother or grandfather or Justice. She left Ned. So why do we have to sit here and take the blame for it?
Well, you know, there's a kernel of truth in what AJ says in spite of himself. Darling, I know you're upset now, but was there ever a more perfect marriage than your grandparents? And they've had their separations. If Lois really loves you...
What the hell do you know about love? And what the hell do you know about loving me?
Darling, all I'm trying to say is that, well, a woman gets really emotional, even irrational when she's pregnant. Suddenly she feels vulnerable for
Then why
absolutely no...
did you go for her jugular?
You don't understand what I'm trying to say. Maybe in the moment, this little tiff seems like a permanent separation.
Shut up, Mother. Shut up.
Just let me finish, sweetheart.
Finishing you is exactly what I intend to do. Do you have any idea, any of you, what this family is losing? Do you remember when Lois first walked into this house? How shocked you all were by the sheer sound of her? And not the way she talked. The sound of someone laughing. And not in derision, but because she just enjoyed the hell out of being alive. How long had it been since anyone expressed so much as an interest in whether you got out of bed? She was our conscience. She was the one who could tell us when we were wrong and why.
Ned, if you don't walk out of this room right now and go get your wife, you're a fool. Forget about your contract. We'll rip it up.
Now, just wait. It doesn't have to be one or the other necessarily.
Edward, shut up. Ned, if you do what justice advises, there will be no repercussions. I give you my word on that.
That's exactly what I intend to do, Grandmother. I will stay and honor this agreement for 6 months. That should be long enough to get this company back on track. And after that, you can just get a cardboard cutout of me and stick it behind my desk and tell people that I'm in a meeting for the next 2.5 years, because I'll be with my wife, if she'll have me.
I know it's none of my business, Ned, but didn't you and Lois discuss this whole contract thing?
Of course we did.
Then you know damn well whether she'll be waiting for you in 6 months or not. Right? Huh? Well, are you worried our corporate kangaroo here may start acting up in 6 months and a day?
Let him.
You don't mean that, I hope.
Of course I do. One bailout, Grandfather, that's all you get. See, whether you understand this or not, I know what Lois wants for our child.
And it's not you.
It's not us. She knows as long as she's a part of this family, you'll be all over this child like flies on meat.
Fine, Ned. What do you say you just cut yourself off from the whole family? Solve all your problems. Take your wife, take all those happy little kids you plan on having, and move somewhere where none of us can find you. You'll be safe.
Well, I don't get why you're not doing that now, Ned.
You see, the reason that Nedley is making this big sacrifice, the only reason that he's making this sacrifice and allowing Lois to go is because he knows what he'd have to give up to keep her. Ooh, that'd be a whole lot tougher. Wouldn't it, Ned? Oh, come on, let's face it. Right now, Ned has got everybody eating crow. He's been hailed as the family savior. He's been recognized as the crown prince. It's like a fantasy come true for you, isn't it, Ned? And you certainly are not going to give this up for something as unexceptional as marital bliss. No, you're not going to do it today, and you certainly aren't going to do it in 6 months.
Well, you're right about one thing. For once in your miserable life. That I am as much of a Quartermain as any of you. And if I walked away right now, I wouldn't have that privilege reserved for a Quartermain who always comes out on top. By which, of course, I mean revenge. You want me back at the helm? You want me running ELQ, lean and mean and tight as a drum? Then it's her or me. I want my mother gone. From this house, from this family, and this time for good.
Darling, do you think it was wise for you to come here tonight in the state that you're in?
Oh, I'm flying high now, Mother.
What I mean is, I don't think that this is something that needs a full board vote. I mean, it's really much more of a personal issue than a business issue.
Actually, as legal counsel, I'd like to suggest that getting rid of you could be very beneficial to the company.
Yes, well, you never liked me from the moment you laid eyes on me.
Ned, what did you have in mind here? A public beheading or what? I mean, not that I'd be opposed to it, but your mother over there, she's got a hefty portion of ELQ shares. It's going to be awfully hard to get rid of her.
I'll take care of that. Grandfather, I've signed your contract. Show it to the subsidiaries, show it to the press, Show it to the president for all I care. But before you hand it over to council, throw my mother out of your house. Order her never to come back, and then leave her to me.
And what about Dylan? Is he banished as well? He's
Don't
her
you
brother,
worry
for God's
about
sake.
Dylan. I'll take care of him, but you won't spend another night under this roof.
Are you listening to this nonsense? You could drain every drop of blood out of my veins, and I would still be your daughter, and I'd still have your youngest grandson.
For now, you have him.
Oh, Daddy, this isn't about stock options or trust funds. That isn't what makes me a Quartermain. That's not something you can sign away.
How big a fool do you think I am? Oh, yes, to my shame, you are my daughter. But Lois has been more of a daughter to me than you ever were, even on your best day. Now, if driving her away were all you had done, I would still be sickened by the sight of you. But you had to turn against all of us and throw in with that cold-blooded reptile and try to destroy everything that I've spent a lifetime trying to build.
I was thinking of Dylan, not of anybody else, and I have already admitted to you that I was wrong.
Now, Ned is right. You are not worthy to shine his shoes. Tracy, I want you and your bags and your boy out of this house within the hour. And if you ever dare to show your face on this property again, you will find yourself in jail for trespassing.
Is that what you want, Mother? Of course it's not. You're the only one who's ever loved and understood me.
I love Lois, too.
Oh, Mother, please. She considered me a rival. She was driving a wedge between Ned and me. I was trying to protect my relationship with my son.
Stop lying. Lois had become the heart of this family. There was no cruelty in her. My God, Tracy, she was carrying your own grandchild, my great-grandchild, whom now I may never be able to see because of you. I shall carry that with me to my grave.
One hour. And don't let me see your face in between.
Sir.
Bye, Auntie Tracy.
First rule of business, never leave yourself without an ally.
Tracy. Tracy. Dear sister, you gambled and you lost. It happens. Bye.
Dr. Quartermain, Dr. Dorman is on the phone for you.
We'll get together very soon and listen to the rest of that tape. Don't call me. I'll call you.
You lost her, you know. To the Quartermains.